Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about the previously given 2019 JEE mains question paper, chemistry questions we are going to discuss in this. So those who are aspirants of entrance examinations like JEE, IIT, BITSAT, NEET, all these examinations. So these are most important for them. That's the reason why let us recall all these topics. Here, the water sample has ppm level concentration of following metals: iron 0.2, manganese 5, copper 3, and zinc 5. The metal that makes the water sample unsuitable for drinking. So among all the options given, iron is 0.2, it is minute quantity only, it is permeable level. Manganese up to 0.5 ppm, it is permeable, it exceeds 0.5, it is toxic in nature, that's why it is not the suitable answer. Copper up to 3 ppm, it is permeable. Zinc up to 5 ppm, also permeable. That's the reason why the correct option will be manganese. The permeable level will be 0.5 ppm. And the next question, the molecule that has minimum or no role in the formation of photochemical smoke. Photochemical smoke is also called as oxidizing smoke, which is formed by the combination of formaldehyde, nitric oxide, ozone in the presence of sunlight. Nitrogen is being inert element, inert metal, inert molecule. It will not form any kind of photochemical smoke. The correct option will be option number 1. The next question, water sample with biological oxygen demand value 4 ppm and 8 ppm respectively. If BOD values less than 5 ppm, we can say it is the clean water. If it exceeds 17 ppm, then we can say it is the highly polluted water. Now among these two options, first one is clean water, second is highly polluted. The correct option will be clean and highly polluted. Option 3 is satisfying the given question. And the next one, the maximum prescribed concentration of copper in the drinking water is, copper is limited up to 3 ppm. More than 3 ppm, it causes hazardous effect. Up to 3 ppm, it will not induce any kind of problem. That's the reason why option 4 is the correct answer. Air pollution that occurs in sunlight is, sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, the pollution called photochemical smoke, which is caused by nitric oxide, ozone, and the third is about formaldehyde. So that is also called as oxidizing smoke. The layer of atmosphere between 10 kilometers to 50 kilometers above the sea level is called. So up to 10 kilometers, it is called a troposphere. In our surroundings, whatever environment is there, that is called a troposphere. If it is in between 10 to 50 kilometers, that is called a stratosphere. In this stratosphere only, our protective layer ozone is laying in this. So 10 to 50 kilometers region, the atmosphere region is called a stratosphere. First region is called a troposphere, and the next levels are meso and thermo levels. Region of atmosphere where clouds are formed and where we live respectively are called. Okay, so from earth surface to up to 10 kilometers, we can say it is a troposphere. That's why we are living in this region only. So troposphere. Even clouds are also present in this troposphere region. That's the reason why option 3 is satisfying both the conditions. So atmosphere, clouds are present in troposphere, and even this where we are living, that is also called as troposphere. The upper stratosphere consisting ozone layer protects us from sun's radiation that falls on the wavelength region. The main use of the ozone layer is protects our earth surface from the irradiation of ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation is laying in between 200 to 350 nanometers, otherwise 2000 to 3050 angstroms. If it is measured in angstroms, it is 2000 to 3150. Otherwise, in nanometers, 200 to 350 nanometers, that is UV radiation. This ozone layer mainly used to protect the earth from this UV radiation by which is in the range of 200 to 350 nanometers. The correct option will be option number 1. So this belongs to chemical kinetics. An elementary chemical reaction, A2 gives rise to 2A. So in the forward reaction, we can indicate the rate constant as K1. Reverse reaction is indicated as K inverse. The expression of dA by dt is given as. Here the reaction is A2 is converted into 2A. It is the dissociation type of reaction. When we measure the rate of the reaction with respect to this product, it is indicated as When we are taking only one molecule, it is indicated as minus 1 by 2 dA by dt is equal to K inverse A square. A2 molecules are there, A square minus K1 A2. So K inverse. So when we are taking half rate of the reaction dA by dt is given by K inverse A square. 2 product molecules are there minus K1 A2. Then when we are taking this 2 towards this right hand side, dA by dt is indicated as minus, when we expand all these forms, minus 2 K inverse A square plus 2 K1 A2. So in this way we can represent, then we can concise the equation as dA by dt is equal to 2 K1. This is 2 K1 A2. So we can take positive term here minus 2 K inverse A square. So this is a finalized equation which is satisfying this equation 2K1 A2 minus 2K1 A2 minus K inverse 2K inverse A square. Option 4 is satisfying this equation. So the correct answer will be 2K1 A2 minus 2K inverse A square. The next question, decomposition of X inhibits the rate constant of 0.05 micrograms per year. How many years are required for the decomposition of 5 microns of X into 2.5 micrograms? Here, rate constant of the decomposition is given by 0.05 micrograms per year. 0.05 micrograms per year. Unit of rate constant confirms that decomposition X is zero order reaction. Here it is the zero order reaction, and the zero order kinetics is given by concentration of X is equal to initial concentration X naught minus KT. Then when we take KT towards this side, X naught minus X, then T is equal to X naught minus X by T. X naught is nothing but initial concentration. Initial concentration is given by 5 milligrams. 5 micrograms are given 5 minus, and after decomposition it is converted into 2.5. Then 5 minus 2.5 by rate constant value K value is given by 0.05. Then 5 minus 2.5 becomes 2.5 by 0.05. When we take this value, it will become 50 years. Option 1 is 50 years. So option 1 is the correct answer. The next question, hemoglobin and gold sol are examples for. So this is a surface chemistry, colloids and surface chemistry bit. So here hemoglobin was taken. Hemoglobin is the red color liquid. So in which iron is the main pigment present in this, and the gold sol. So here iron and gold. In case of iron, hemoglobin iron is there, which is the positive sol, whereas gold is a negative sol. It is surrounded by negative ions. This iron is surrounded by positive ions. Positive followed by negative charges respectively. Option 1 is satisfying. Hemoglobin is the positive sol, gold is the negative sol. An example of solid sol is, so solid sol in the sense solid dispersed in solid medium. Then gem is the best example for this one. Dispersion phase and dispersion medium both are solids, and this gemstone comes under this solid sol. Option 2 is satisfying this. Paint is the emulsion, butter is also hair cream. These are not satisfying solid sol. That's why gemstone is the correct example for solid sol. The next question, we are taking these important catalysts which are commercially used in the industry for the synthesis of all these molecules. These are commercial scale synthesis of the molecules, and these are the catalysts we have to map. Vanadium pentoxide. Vanadium pentoxide is the important catalyst for the synthesis of sulfuric acid in the contact process. So option 1 is matching with option 3, that is sulfuric acid. In sulfuric acid synthesis, vanadium pentoxide is the important catalyst. Titanium tetrachloride and trimethyl aluminum, this mixture is called Ziegler-Natta catalyst, which is very important for the synthesis of polymer, that is polythene. Polythene can be synthesized by this catalyst. That's why option 2 is matching with option 1. Palladium chloride. Palladium chloride is the important catalyst in the Walker's process. Walker's process is mainly used for the synthesis of aldehydes. Here it is matching with palladium chloride, ethanol formation. Here a print mistake is there. Ethanol, AL should be there. It is not OL. Ethanol is nothing but acetaldehyde synthesis. We are using this palladium chloride. This is called Walker's process. Next, iron oxide. Iron oxide is the important catalyst in Haber's method. Ammonia synthesis in the huge scale, industrial scale, is synthesized by this iron oxide catalyst, and promoter molybdenum oxide was taken. So, which is satisfying this? Option 1, vanadium pentoxide for 3, 1, 3. So, option 1 and 3 satisfying this first one. And Ziegler-Natta catalyst for 1, B1. B1 is matching with only option number 3. That's why option number 3 is the correct answer. Vanadium pentoxide for sulfuric acid in contact method. Ziegler-Natta catalyst, polythene synthesis. Palladium chloride ethanol synthesis called Walker's method. Iron oxide in Haber's method, ammonia synthesis we can use as a catalyst. The correct option among the following: colloidal medicines are more effective because they have small surface region. Colloidal medicines are more effective is the correct. There is no wrong anything. But only the thing is the surface area is very large. Then only absorption will be more and efficiency will be more. That's why it is not the correct option. Addition of alum to water makes it unfit for drinking. When alums are added, what happens? Alums are used to coagulate any impurities, solid impurities present in the water. Alums are the purifying agent, so that water is fit for drinking. This is also not a correct option. Colloidal particles in leophobic soils can be precipitated by electrophoresis. This is the correct answer. Colloidal particles, leophobic soil can be precipitated by, so we can remove these colloidal particles by the process called electrophoresis. By applying electrical current, it is possible to remove colloidal particles. Being colloids are the charged species, it is possible to remove by this electrophoresis, or separate by electrophoresis method. Brownian motion in the colloidal solution is faster if the viscosity of the solution is very high. Brownian movement is nothing but zigzag or random movement of colloidal particles in the dispersion medium is called Brownian movement. This movement is very fast if the liquid is less viscous. As the viscosity increases, movement becomes small, and that becomes difficult. That's why it is also not a correct answer. The correct answer will be colloidal particles in leophobic soils can be precipitated by electrophoresis process. Peptization. Peptization is the process of converting precipitate into colloid. It is reverse to the coagulation process. What we are doing, we are converting solid precipitate into colloidal sized particle, intermediate sized particles, shaking with dispersion medium in the presence of small amount of electrolyte. When electrolyte is added, that precipitate get converted into colloidal solution. This is also called as deflocculation. Flocculation is nothing but coagulation or precipitation. Deflocculation in the sense it is the reverse process where we are converting solid material into semi-solid called colloidal sized particles, which is called a peptization. Option 2 is satisfying this. So these are the questions we discussed in the today's session. Hope this session is very much useful for the